Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. So in today's video I am very excited because we are going to be doing some crafting. If you don't know me, I am a very crafty girl. I like to try out new crafts. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but I do enjoy doing it. So there is a craft that has been on my mind for ever. I'm sure you have seen it, the viral like social media beaded planter plant. I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram. I don't have TikTok, but I'm sure it's on TikTok. It's everywhere, and it's something that I've been wanting to do forever, and I think it would make the most beautiful addition to my plant shelf. I'm looking at the plant shelf behind me and I've been trying to incorporate more planty things to my shelf, so I thought that would be something that would be a fantastic addition to my shelf. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have all the ingredients I have all the supplies here with me, so if you see, I am so excited to just have like a chill crafty morning. Bye Delta. I got Delta here with me. We're gonna be doing some crafting. I am super excited. I might show a little preview video to show you what it's gonna look like at the end, but I'm so excited to get into it. So if you're interested in seeing how I make this viral beaded plant, then keep on watching. Sit down, oh baby girl. Okay, all right, well, Delta's going to be a guest during the crafting time, but I'm sure, like I said earlier, I'm sure you have seen this craft. I have taken some time to decide what kind of beaded planter I want, and I really like the crystal looking beads, but they are so expensive. Okay, so I've looked at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, I've looked at like local craft stores and stuff, and they just blow my mind how crazy expensive they are. So I did get a couple things off of Amazon. I can link them if you want to use what I'm using, but I did go with the lower quality beads. I did get a mix of everything, but it has some crystal, some not. I would have loved to make it all crystal, but they are just so unbelievably expensive. So like I said, I will link everything below, but yeah, let's just get into it. So to start off, I had inspiration to make this craft when I saw one online in a disco ball planter, and I knew that I already had the perfect planter. So this is what I'm going to be making mine in. It's so stunning. I'm obsessed with it, but I haven't had a use for it. Let me tell you why. So this was originally a hanging planter, and I never ended up hanging it because I don't know if you can see, this is made out of concrete and it is heavy, like really heavy. I got this on clearance from Michael's, I want to say. Yeah, I think it was Michael's, and it was only like $5, so I was very excited to get it, but I realized like this is way too heavy. Once you put a plant and like soil and water and everything, I didn't feel comfortable hanging it, so I actually took one of the chains off to use for something else, and I've just been having it sit here. I've been using it as a cache pot in my plant shelf setup that I have over here, but I discovered recently when I use it, because it doesn't have a drainage hole, so I've been putting a plant in it and then just letting it bottom water. I realized because it is concrete that the water seeps through. So I had this big, I was like freaking out. I had this big puddle of water on my plant shelf and I couldn't figure out why it was doing that. And I was like, oh, it's because the water seeps through the concrete. So I haven't been able to find a good use for this pot. It's just been sitting here. I'm gonna start by taking these off. So if you see me doing that, that's why it's kind of hard to take them off. Actually, I'm gonna use my clips. So if you see in the back, like I said, I do have a bunch of supplies already out. I have taken the time to set up all of the supplies that I think I'm gonna need for this project, just to make it easier for myself, not having to get up and get a bajillion things. So first thing I am doing is cutting off these things with my jewelry cutters. I also got this jewelry tool set thing from Amazon forever ago. I don't know if I'll be able to find that, but I can link that as well. I did try to go like cheap or inexpensive reused thrifted route for this. Let me kind of get set up and then I will show you everything that I have. So these are off and now we just have, just gonna throw it, and now we just have the planter. So this is gonna be our base. I'm super excited. I love the idea of the beaded planter in the disco ball pot. I thought it looked really cool. You can see the camera in there. I just thought that that was really cool, and I already had this pot and I couldn't really use it, or couldn't think of anything to use it planty wise, so this is going to be the perfect use for it. So yeah, we have that. I have this extra as heck bowl. I just thrifted this, but I actually thought that it would make the perfect like beading crafting bowl. Here, let me show you. It is so beautiful. I got it at Goodwill, $8.99, but it was the red tag, so it was 40% off of that. I just got it the other day, so I was super excited to use it. I probably will use it for more than just this, but I thought it was perfect because I am going to be pouring the beads in here, and I thought it would be perfect to kind of like see them all at once and be able to kind of pick and choose which beads I want. So we have that. I'm just gonna put that down near me. These are the beads that I ended up getting. So it took me a long time to decide on a bead pack because I wanted to get the most bang for my buck, but I was also very specific in what I wanted it to look like. I like the ones that are different like shapes and sizes and stuff like that. I didn't want it to be all one like uniform. I thought there should be some variation between the beads, and I ended up really liking this one. I want to say it was $20, so it wasn't the cheapest in the world, but if you get into beads, you will definitely see how expensive they are. Like, my mind was blown. I couldn't find a strand of beads for less than $10, and if you have seen these, you know it takes an incredible amount of beads to create, especially with this size. I feel as though I'm going to be using a lot of beads. So this pack that I found on Amazon is 2,000 beads. And it has all different shapes and sizes. You can see there, maybe I can take this out. It's got a little card in there showing you all the different types. I'm not sure I'm gonna use every type of bead, but I really like that there was these dangly ones and different colored green ones. So yeah, super excited. Thought it was a good bang for your buck bead. I also have been taking some time, like I said, because I've been planning this craft for a very long time. I was just finding the right time to do it, but I have been thrifting green beads, anything that I thought would look good, and putting them in here. I thought I had way more than this, but this is what I have so far. Just anytime I see a green bead or anything that I thought would look good. I even have pearls in there because I thought it would be fun to make it look like variegated, you know? Variegated string of pearls or something like that. So I have a bunch of different ones. I even have some crystal looking ones in there. And I'm going to be mixing these in. I already had all of this because I have right here that I wanted to show you. I got one of those like mystery jewelry bundle like things. I think it was $30, and so I've been trying to tear it all apart and use it for stuff if it's jewelry that I'm not gonna wear. And I took apart all sorts of anything I saw with a green bead. I kind of deconstructed and put in there. So that was what I used that for, and now I have some extra beads. What's next? So we have the bowl, we have the beads, oh, the craft wire. So I did have to buy this on Amazon as well. I wasn't sure exactly what kind of wire I wanted to use. I do love that it's gold. This is what I ended up getting. It is a 2-pack. I don't know if I'll have to use 2, but I could always use it for another craft. And I did open it up to look at it a little bit. It's pretty thin, but I think it's gonna be perfect because it does kind of hold its shape, but still I think with the weight of the beads will have a nice like drooping effect. So I'm very excited for that. My tool set. So this is all the crafting tools that I use. They're with me. I have brown paint because I decided that I wanted to paint the base brown to look like soil. I also think it'll just look nice if there's any styrofoam showing, to have it be brown and look like soil. So it's just a little like brown paint. I think these are like $1, and then a paintbrush. I have that all ready to go, and I have my knife, my very menacing looking knife, because to start step 1, which I think I'm going to be doing right now, let me move everything around a little bit. To start step 1, we need to create a base. So when I saw all the videos, people usually use floral foam, but I already had this styrofoam container, this like cooler type thing, and so I wanted to try to use that to make it, you know, cheaper and not a single use, and kind of use what I already had. So I brought the knife because I can't think of any better way than to just cut this up into the desired size and try to figure it out from there. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of crafting based on vibes. So I think that might be step 1, because we have to do that and paint and let that dry while we go on to the beading. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is try to get this to be the correct size. I do want it to be kind of right in line with the planter, so I do think I might need to cut more than one layer and kind of stack them, but my goal is to have it fit in here nice and snug and have the styrofoam be at the level of the planter. So I already know that the sound of this is going to be absolutely atrocious because it's a knife with styrofoam. So I am going to save all your ears, and I'm going to put some music on it, and while I try to figure this out, I think this is going to be the most like time consuming part of, or like not time consuming, but the most kind of experimental part of the craft, because like I said, I don't know if it's going to take 2 layers, 3 layers, whatever. So, and I already hate the sound of it already, so I am mentally preparing myself. So I'm going to put you down. I don't really have a good like space. I wanted to go here because I thought it would be fun to do it in the plant room, but it's proving to be a challenge. Sorry, tiny boober. I'm gonna use my pillow. I just got this pillow at the thrift store and I love it. I thought it was the perfect plant room edition. I'm gonna use that as like a table. So I'm gonna put you guys down and I will show you what I'm doing. Okay, sorry if there was a little jump cut, my battery died, but that actually ended up being way more simple than I thought it was. Sorry, I'm just putting my supplies away. There was only a little bit of styrofoam everywhere, but this is the final product. So I ended up doing kind of 3 layers. If you saw, I ended up putting the 2 flat parts on the bottom, and then I realized that a flat part should be on the top because it's going to give me the best like surface to poke the wire into. So I used these little like parts around the edge and kind of used that in the middle just as height without adding a ton of styrofoam. So it actually ended up working extremely well. I have it almost right on the top. I did have to fill in the cracks a little bit, but I think once the bead and everything is in there, you won't be able to really notice. So that actually ended up working extremely well. I'm glad I didn't go buy the floral foam because I ended up saving some money, and also I already had this, so I like to be resourceful and use stuff I already have, even if that means working a little harder to figure it out. But all in all, that was 5 minutes, you know, not anything crazy. So super excited. I think that looks really good, and I didn't have to spend any money on it. So next I'm going to move on to painting. So that's going to be super simple, obviously. If you see how chaotic my room is, please just ignore it. I had no motivation to clean before the video. I just wanted to get this done, and I wanted to kind of relax a little bit because I don't have any videos posted yet, but I have been in the garden every day for 4 days straight. So I have been working on our garden. I have been out in the Florida sun, heat, rain. I've been doing a lot of manual labor outside. So I was very excited to just sit and relax today. I hope you're enjoying watching it. Maybe you're doing a craft while you're watching this as well. But I was very excited to just sit and relax in the AC and create something beautiful that I've had on my mind for a very long time. So little random side tangent, but I hope you're enjoying. And one of the reasons I said that is because I made me a little drink, nice little relaxing drink. It's non-alcoholic. I made it sound like I had alcohol, but it's just iced tea with a splash of lemonade and then some sugar-free mango syrup that I already had. I used to use them in my teas and stuff, but I haven't used them in a while, but I thought it would be nice to make this little drink. So I'm gonna enjoy it for a second before we move on to the next step. Oh, that's so good. Something about iced tea just with a little splash of lemonade. Oh my god, I love that so much. The iced tea and lemonade are from Publix. If you're from the South, you know how delicious they are. So I just kind of like to concoct. Some days I'll do like just lemonade, some days just iced tea, but I have a little concoction and I have this down packed. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Now that we are done with the styrofoam, I can put this big menacing knife away, so I'll put that farther over here. Like I said, if you see all the stuff over there, I was just kind of like bringing anything I thought I could potentially need for this video so I don't have to worry about it once I'm here. So that's why it looks so crazy back here. Next is going to be extremely simple. All I am going to do is just put a tiny little bit of this brown paint. I'm going to paint it right here in the pot. I'm just going to be super careful not to paint the pot and make it look like soil. This is, again, just so I told you, in case there is, I'll put a little bit more than I think because I'll make it nice and thick. This is just to cover the styrofoam in case. I really do want to make this plant as thickly beaded as possible, so I don't want a ton of styrofoam to be showing, but just in case it does, I want it to be brown like soil. See, I'm glad I put as much paint as I did because I'm already needing more. I'm gonna go really carefully around the edges. Should I have painted this before putting it in the pot? Yes, but I didn't know what I was gonna use where, you know what I mean? I also feel like this isn't the best brown color, but hopefully it should be mostly covered, not fully exposed. I wanted this to be like a chill, vibey crafting video, and it's coming out way more chaotic than that. It's relaxing for me. I hope it's relaxing for you. I'm just kind of getting the corners as best as I can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. This is just something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and so I'm very excited to get to do it today. All right, I got a little bit of brown paint on the planter, no biggie. This corner that's not flat is obviously presenting more challenges when it comes to evenly painting, so I'm just kind of zhuzhing the brush in there to cover it as best as I can. But I think that I am happy with that. All right, super happy with that. I did bring a cup of water specifically to put the brush in. See, I told you I prepared ahead of time. So that is gonna be the home for the brush. Now that it is painted, I'm gonna put that far away so I don't hit it. And that is our next step. So not the best brown color. What is this? I feel like it looks different in here. Light cinnamon. So no, I guess that was just my bad. I feel like the bottle looks different than the paint, but whatever. I'm not gonna go back over it because it's just a background. That's all it is. So yeah, that is the soil for my potted plant. And now we get to move on to the fun steps. So this was kind of like the prep for this craft because I knew that I was gonna need to let the paint dry, right? So this, now that this is all set up, this can be taken away because all I need to do at the end is assemble. So I need to let this dry. I'm gonna put this in the background right here, and we're going to move on to, in my opinion, the most fun part, which is the beading. So now that the pot is all prepped and ready to go, next we are going to move on to the beading. So I think, and I put a lot of thought into this, I think the easiest thing for me to do is to kind of pour all the beads out in here and just kind of pick as I go, because I don't want there to be any specific like rhyme or reason or pattern necessarily. I like the idea of having it be mismatched, like differently shaped beads, not uniform sort of situation. So I thought, and that's why I brought this thrifted bowl, that it would be the best kind of thing because it's low and shallow, so I'll be able to see all the beads at once and I can just kind of pick and choose as I go but not be like too uniform with it. So I think that's what we're gonna do next. Wonder if you can see this. If you see all of this, no you don't. I am not pretending to be the perfectly clean girl all the time, okay? This is my getting ready space, but it's also where I put all my crafting supplies. I definitely need better organization habits. So if you see all of that, it is what it is, and I'm not gonna apologize for it, okay? So let's move us down just a tad. Okay, so I'm going to be putting all the beads in here. First, I want to start with the thrifted beads. I don't know how many of these I'm going to be using because now that I look at them, a lot of the ones that I thrifted are clear, and I think I decided that I don't want to do the clear ones because I think I want to see if I can get away with just green and see how that looks. So there is a couple thrifted ones that I like. They have these cool like darker earth tone ones. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but there's also these tiny green crystal ones that I will definitely be using because they're the perfect color and size and they're crystal. So I will definitely be using those. Oh, it's paint. I was like, what the heck is on my finger? Well, I can keep the chair right here. This is my getting ready chair, so it is being used as my table today. So that is the thrifted beads. Now let's move on to the ones that I purchased. I feel like it's gonna hurt the organized girlies' hearts to see me do this, but I literally plan on just dumping this. I wouldn't be surprised if I used up almost all of them. I'm not even gonna lie to you because I know that this craft is gonna take a lot of beads. So this is what it looks like. I don't remember if I showed it before. Some of them are crystal, some of them are not. Oh, I'm being so careful. I don't want them to fall, but they're really pretty. I looked at them when I first got them and I'm so happy with them. I feel like they look really good for the price. Again, because I said crystal beads are insanely expensive. So here we go, I'm just gonna do it. Oh my god. Okay, I felt a couple fall on the floor, but hopefully not too many. And I'm definitely gonna keep this. I feel like this is a cute little cool container. Wow, I feel like I'm literally not even gonna have enough. Wow, it's so satisfying. Such beautiful colors. Wow. I'm mesmerized. Wow. I am obsessed. I'm so happy I got that pack. They're beautiful. Wow. Okay. All right, sorry. Got distracted there. But these are all the beads. I'm gonna take a picture. They're so beautiful. Sorry if it's so dark in here. It is starting to get a little stormy. I apologize that the lighting is all messed up, but I don't have any sort of like artificial lighting, or lighting, so it kind of is what it is. I kind of have to play to the natural light in my house. Maybe I'll invest in some lighting so I can craft at any time, but I apologize if it's looking a little cray-cray right now. Also, I understand that I'm always gonna look purple because my room is purple, so that just kind of is what it is, and it's gonna look how it's gonna look. I don't really care. If you're here for that, then I apologize. But yeah, so we have all of our beads here. Let me show you what they look like all close up. They're so beautiful. You can see the crystal moving and the light catching onto it. Oh, I think it's gonna be so stunning. I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to put this on my shelf or hang it up, but I decided to put it on my shelf once I realized I was going to use the heavy planter. If I want to move it around, I can do so, but it's gonna be on my plant shelf for now. So, all right, let me start with the wire. I have a sort of game plan for this, but I don't know exactly what I want to do for length. So let me move this and then bring this back over here because I want to approximate how long I want it to be. I am going to be putting it on my plant shelf, so I don't want it to be incredibly long. Like, I don't want it to go over, but I was thinking if I put this on like a raised situation, I could have it be like decently long, but I also don't want it to completely cover the disco ball. So stay with me here. I'm thinking like that long and kind of go from there and see what that looks like. Maybe you can even see that long and see where that gets us. I don't know. Let's give it a try. So I'll maybe make, I don't know, 10 of these. And I think I'm gonna go in layers. So let me cut the wire with my wire cutters. I'm gonna cut approximately 10 of this size. Gosh, now I'm wondering if I have enough beads. I'm wondering if I should make it shorter so I have enough beads. Oh, yeah. Let me see. Maybe I'll look at Pinterest for some inspo and see if I can find any idea that I like that have shorter. Because I like the idea of it looking like a trailing plant, but that is going to take so many beads, and I'm making such a large pot. I don't really want to have to wait to get more beads, so let me see. I'm glad I got the 2-pack of wire because this looks like it's already almost done, so might actually end up using all the wire on this one. Okay, so let's bring the beads back. I have my 10 initial wirings that I'm going to be doing. I do want to figure out how I'm going to like knot them off. I do know in the pack, I'm not sure if there's enough, but I do know that the pack came with like finishing beads. Like, let me show you one like this. So it doesn't have, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that at all, but I'll insert a picture. So it doesn't have holes on both ends, it just has one. So I do think I want to do that. Basically, I'm going to put that at the end, and then the next bead, I'm going to take part of the wire and put it through. So it'll be kind of finished. So let's do that. Like that. Oh, that looks so cute already. I just took, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm not a good YouTuber. So let me just put on a couple beads and then I'll show you. Oh my God, that is so freaking cute. I'm obsessed. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see that. If not, I could take a picture. Basically all I did, and I'll take a picture to explain, is I used the finishing one to have it be at the bottom. So this is the part that I wasn't sure if I was going to completely show. Maybe I'll fast forward it. I don't know. I just know it's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat. You know, same thing over again. I'm not going to be, oops. I'm not going to be picking and choosing specifically what beads I put where, but I do plan on just like having some sort of pattern to them. This is a small bead, and I'm going to see how I can get away with just using green ones and see how far that gets me. So I think I might just fast forward it if possible because I have no idea how long this is about to take me, but I am going to try and see how many I can do. So no rhyme or reason, just kind of going up, around. I really want to make sure that I use the small beads because they are going towards the bottom, so I feel like they'll be forgotten unless I actually make a point to use them. So maybe I'll do like some sort of pattern where it's like small, large, medium. You know, in my head I'll be making sure that I come up with some sort of pattern that uses the small beads because at first all I see is the large beads. But that is so cute. Can you see that? Wow, I think this is gonna be so stunning. So yeah, I'm gonna end up fast forwarding. I think I really just want to have a nice chill time doing this, and let's see how long it takes me. I think it's gonna be freaking forever. It is 1:30 right now, so let's see how long this takes. I am gonna make sure, I'm not going to fill up the whole thing. I'm gonna make sure to leave a decent amount because that is the part that's going to go in the styrofoam. Does that make sense? So I'm not sure how much I'm gonna leave, but it is gonna be a pretty significant amount. So yeah, let's get beading, you guys. I'll see y'all on the other side. So I just did the first strand. I'm absolutely obsessed with how it looks. I think it's the perfect combination of all of these beads that I have, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I wanted to stop real quick because I wanted to show you what I'm going to be doing at the end of each strand. I cannot remember what these are called right now, but I do have these little tiny bead things that you put at the bottom and then clamp so that the beads won't move. I'll have to look up the name of it, but I am gonna put one of these at the end of each thing so the beads don't move around and that it's a really nice tight fit. So you just put that on. Clamp beads, I think. Clamp beads. You just put that on and then I'm gonna use my pliers and clamp it. And that just kind of stops the beads from moving around. Now they're all in there nice and tight, so when I do end up putting them in the styrofoam, they won't move around. So yeah, oh my gosh, it looks so cute. I just want to put it in the styrofoam, but I have to let the paint dry. So I won't do that now, but I really want to. I just want to like test and see how it looks. But I'm gonna use this as a guide to make sure that all the other ones are approximately the same length. So I'm going to put this one right here. Might change up the angle just so you can see what I'm doing and kind of have you zoned in.
Let's take it back a few good years to when the world was ending. Let's take it back to me and you. You called me up and said that you just got your driver's license and that there's nothing we can do. Running every light past the city of Pasadena at Cecilia. On the radio, swear I could have died right there and I'd be happy. I guess time tricked me, 'cause where'd it go? And I wonder, I wanna know if life gets any better. Pretend like it's rain and talk about the weather. Play the tape of when we were stupid kids, middle fingers up. I wanna know where those days go. Remember how we used to play your mom and steal her cigarettes just to have something to do. It's kinda sad, but everything just seemed to be much simpler. With the pipe of smokes up on your roof. Stayed up every night, no worries about our problems or how to solve them. But do we know? Swear I could have died right there and I'd be happy. Guess time tripped me, 'cause where did it go? And I wonder, I wanna know if life gets any better. Pretend like it's rain and talk about the weather. Play the tape of when we were stupid kids, middle fingers up. I wanna know, I wanna know where those days go. Where those days go. Where those days go. Where those days go. Let's take it back a few good years to when the world was ending. Let's take it back to me and you. You called me up and said that you just got your driver's license and that there's nothing we can do. I wanna know if life gets any better. Pretend like it's rain and talk about the weather. Play the tape of when we were stupid kids, middle fingers up. I wanna know where those days go. Where those days go.
Okay, gang. I am pausing the bead making because I want to try and see what it looks like so far. So I'm gonna get you rearranged. Hold on. Okay, gang, so we are still beading, but I wanted to take a little break because I have been making quite a few and I would like to see what it looks like so far. So let me just get this organized. This is what I have made so far. I think they look so good. Oh, oops. I'm obsessed with them. I think they are so pretty and like colorful, and I think that the like mismatched looks so good so far, and I had so much fun making it. I just started Mocha. If you've heard of it, that audiobook is insane. I keep looking at my phone like, whoa. I didn't know what it was about. I wanted to read the first book by Monica Kim. I think it's called The Eyes Are the Best Part. And I think it's like a horror read, and I really want to read it, and I especially want to read it now after starting this. I'm listening to it on audio, and I'm already obsessed. So that was so much fun. I did get the first round done, so let's see. Let me look on Pinterest again, because I'm not sure how to place these. Let me see. I think people place them in the middle. I think most people go from the middle, but I'm thinking of making it like a spillage situation. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. I have the here, it is mostly dry. I'm not too worried about it. So basically all I'm gonna do is just take the pointy part of the wire and put it in. I think I'm gonna start mainly from the middle and go from there and see what we think. So let's put this first one in the styrofoam. The bead keeps moving, which is bothering me. There we go. Okay. So we have our first bead in. I think it looks so good. It's almost like exactly the height that I was looking for. I think that this is gonna work just fine. Delta's scared. I mean, I know it's been dark, and I apologize if the lighting is not great on this video. I think it is gonna rain. Actually, I have my tweezers right here. That should probably help. I'm just gonna use my tweezers to kind of like drive this into the styrofoam. So let's go like that. And now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm only gonna have it go in one direction, I might have it like spill over, if that makes sense. Because it's not gonna be a 360 view. Maybe I don't need these to be this long. Maybe I made them too long. I had a really hard time doing this. So I did end up cutting it, so it's just a little bit. Let me try it like that. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so you don't need them to be as long as you think they do. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's only going to be viewed from my plant shelf, so it's only gonna be viewed from one side. So I don't super care if it looks good from all angles, you know what I mean? That was too tall to be put over there. So let's do that. I don't know if I just didn't clamp these beads down enough, but they keep moving and it's bothering me. There we go. I did end up finishing each individual strand with those beads, like the finishing beads. I hope I have enough to do all of them because I really like the way it looks. So we'll see where that takes us. And I'm kind of trying to make them look not all the same height, but kind of. I should have it angled to you guys, but I would like it angled to me so I can see what I'm doing. It's so much easier with the wire shorter. I'm realizing I should have done it the other way because the flat cardboard or the flat styrofoam is the other way. Is that a big enough deal to make me do all that over again? Yes, it is a big enough deal. Okay, that makes a huge difference. It looks so much better and cleaner from the flat cardboard. So I'm just gonna turn everything around and cut this since I already have it out. I really should be picking those up so I don't step on them, but whatever. I'm not sure why this one doesn't want to go in farther. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then that one's gonna go back there. I'm looking at this and realizing I might need way more beads than I have, but that's fine. we'll see where this gets us. It just might not be as full as I originally thought, but this is gonna be an all-day craft. I thought this was gonna be like bing, bang, boom, done, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's how it always feels until you're actually in it and you realize it's way more work than you thought it was. It looks so cute so far though. Okay, you guys, so this is what we have so far. I feel like that was a lot of work, and as I said, I'm glad that I changed it because I have a feeling you're going to be able to see a lot of the styrofoam, because I don't think that I have enough beads to make this as full as I want it, but that's okay. Maybe down the line I'll get more. But I'm loving how it looks so far. I think it looks so cute. My plan is to just keep going. I'm realizing that I think I need some shorter ones because I think I made them a little too long. I think if it's on a hanging or like a stand-up thing, it should be fine. Maybe I can find a little plant stand to put it on or something like that, but if it's sitting flat, I don't want these to like splay out too much, you know what I mean? So I think I am going to make them a tad bit shorter, which works out well because then I won't need to use as many beads. So this is just a little progress update. I'm going to keep chugging along to see where we can go, but I am super, super happy with it so far. I put most of them in one direction, so like I said, you're going to be seeing it from this angle, and then when I do end up displaying it, I can always like rearrange it so it looks, you know, a little better, you know, like kind of overlap them like I just did, just make it look a little bit fuller and more realistic, if that makes sense, as realistic as a beaded plant can be. So super happy with it so far, and I'm just gonna keep going until I run out of beads. That's the plan. Ooh. All right, see, I can't mess with it too much apparently because it likes to fall out. Maybe I'll even put hot glue. I've seen people do that. I'm gonna keep chugging along. If I do end up doing the hot glue, I will show you guys what that looks like, but for now I just want to keep beading because it's very time consuming. So I'm just gonna make the strands and then we'll get to the assembling later. This was just kind of like I wanted to see what it looked like and measure out my length stop. So I am happy with it. I think I might go a little bit shorter and have these be the long pieces and like mix them into shorter pieces to one, I think fill it out, and two, use less of my beads. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like first. I think it's so cute. So yeah, let's keep on chucking. I'm gonna keep listening to Mocha, so buckle in for that one, guys. Whew, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy book so far. So yeah. Okay, you guys, welcome back. I just beaded my little heart out. Oops. Let me get you all situated. Sorry, we're not very profesh here. What am I doing? Does that work? Okay. So, I just finished my beading. I ended up using the majority of the beads. This is what I have left. I wanted to show you. You can see I didn't end up using the clear ones, so there's a lot more clear ones than it appeared before, plus a couple green ones. So I did use the majority of everything. There are, you know, a couple, but what made me stop is I ran out of the bottom ones. Like you can see, I used the same bottoms for all of them, and I ran out. There is clear ones in there, but I didn't know that I wanted to put clear ones considering I used green for everything else. So this is my final beading product. Look at how gorgeous. I'm literally obsessed with them. I think they look so cool, and I'm so happy with how that came out. It was an incredible amount of work. I feel like my brain is like kind of fuzzy, you know, when you're doing one single task repeatedly. I think when I started it was 1:30. It's now 4:30, so I've been beading for 3 hours straight, and this is what I have to show for it. Here, let me move this. And it was so much work, but I'm so happy with how it came out, and I think that they look absolutely beautiful. So pretty much all we have to do now is assemble. So I was looking through my stuff, and I do have a hot glue gun, but I was thinking about a project I did a long time ago. I don't remember what it was, but the glue and styrofoam did not mix because the hot glue just kept melting the styrofoam, and it wasn't like really working that well. So you saw earlier in the video, I can just stick it in, but I thought a little bit of glue to just kind of like anchor it in would work really well. So I found these two glues in our junk drawer that I'm going to use. They're both super glues. One is just like more liquid, I guess one is a gel. So found these in the junk drawer, and my plan is to just like put a little bit at the tip and then stick it in the soil part. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Again, I wanted to make this part the back, the not as cute part, and have this part be the front. The only thing that annoys me about this pot is that since it was a hanging pot, there are holes. Be cool if I could find like pieces of mirror to cover that, but basically I want the front to be like in between. There's two holes right here, so I'm gonna make it so that these are on the sides and then that is in the front. So I am gonna have it face me just because I want to see. I did end up breaking one bead, and it was the like bottom bead. I was very sad about it because that meant I could have had a whole nother string, but that's okay. Okay, so I feel like I did make them all approximately the same size. So I'm not too worried about like putting them certain places, but I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna wing it. Why not? Okay, so first one. I wonder if it would be better to put glue on the wire or on the styrofoam. I feel like maybe the styrofoam, so let's try that. A little bit of, this is gel, so it's, I can hear it in there. A little bit of glue and push down. Cute. Since it's wire, once everything dries, I'm gonna try a little bit of like maneuvering around to get it how I want it. But right now, I'm just worried about getting them like evenly spaced in. There we go. These are so helpful. I use them for everything. I use them for plants, I use them for crafts, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that one just wants to naturally go that way, so that's perfect. Let's get one over here. I only shot a little bit of footage of me. I'm gonna go with the other glue. I'm gonna put this upside down for a while to get some glue to come out of it. I only shot the beginning footage of me doing the beading portion because it was rinse and repeat, you know what I mean? Just same thing over and over and over again. I don't know how many times you want to see me do a strand of beads, but it basically was the exact same thing. I don't even know, 20 times? I'm not sure how many strands I have, but that's why I didn't show more than just a couple strands, but I hope you enjoyed seeing it. It was very satisfying to do. If you are a crafter, you know it's nice to just like kind of turn your mind off and focus on what you're working on. I did end up listening to Mocha, you guys. It's crazy, and I knew it was gonna be because I've heard people talk about it saying it's crazy, but I had no idea just how crazy it was gonna be. Well, I've been crafting for 3 hours, so I'm a couple hours in. I'm 29% done the book, and holy moly, I am obsessed with it. I think it is so good, and I cannot wait to finish it. I think it's gonna be a 5-star read for sure, and it makes me want to read Eyes of the Best Part, which I think was Monica Kim's first publishing. And there's some books that I'm just like instantly in love with, and this is one of them. I mean, it is so creepy in the best way possible, but like written well. I don't know if it would be classified as horror or what it would be classified as, but it's just so good. So I'm definitely going to be finishing that up, and I can't wait to update you guys on it. But yeah, I did get a couple hours of that in while I was crafting, so that always feels good. I was able to kind of turn my mind off and just get this all done. I feel like more styrofoam is gonna show than I would like it to, but I do think I shouldn't have chosen such a large pot. That might be the problem, but I really wanted to use this pot. I do have this pot in a smaller size. Should I have done that one? Well, I already started gluing, so it's a little too late now, but I think when you look at it, I do have a plan of where I'm going to be putting this. I have a spot open on my plant shelf, and it's the top shelf, so you're really not going to be looking at it from the top. You're going to be more looking at it from the side, and so that's my, like, what I'm telling myself while I'm making this is that it needs to look good from a certain angle. It doesn't need to look good from all angles. You know what I'm saying? So that is really what I'm going for here, and I think it's gonna be just fine. I'm just trying to make sure that they are evenly spaced out because I don't want it to look lopsided. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had such a fun time beading. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I have so many other crafts in my mind that I could film videos on. I have a wish list of crafts that I would like to get done, you know, eventually. And I feel like that would be a fun, I don't like the way I positioned that one. The good thing about styrofoam is that you could just pull it right out. It does have the super glue on it, so I'm gonna let that dry and replace that one. But yeah, I have so many other ideas for crafts. This was one that I really wanted to do. It's been on my list for so long. I've just been waiting for the right time to do it, and I just got the beads in from Amazon last night. Oh yeah, I wanted to say I'm very glad that I used the thrifted beads. If you look at them, the thrifted beads are these larger beads like this, and I love the way that looks. I think it really adds something. Apart from the crystals, which are obviously gorgeous, I think that adds so much color and texture, and it's like a nice light green texture, or a nice like shiny texture, and I really like it. I'm very glad that I took the time to take those apart. It was this like older necklace that I found in the thrifted bucket of jewelry. Fungus gnats in here. I wasn't gonna take the time to take it apart because I was like, oh, it's not crystal, it's just like plain green beads, and so I didn't think it would complement this, but I'm really glad I did because I think it looks really good. Yay, this is starting to look so good already. I do think it's gonna be slightly sparse, but I think that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, what was I saying? I truly do feel like my brain is like foggy. I was sitting here for 3 hours just beading, and it sounds so silly, but my fingers hurt because I've been doing so much gardening over the past couple days, and one of the things that I have been doing is weeding, and it's a very obviously like finger intensive thing, and I've just been like ripping weeds out, and I've been doing it with no gloves, which is probably not for the best, but I have been doing it with no gloves, and I was doing this and I was like, gosh, my fingers really hurt, and I was trying to figure out why they were hurting so badly, and then I remembered I've spent the last 3 days ripping up weeds from the garden. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, I've never had like sore finger muscles before. Garden people problems, I guess. I do think that I definitely should have made some of the styrofoam shorter, or the wire to go through the styrofoam. I think I should have made some of that shorter because it's having a little bit of a hard time going through that one thick part. It's really easy to go through the back part, the one that's not as bad, but this was super easy too. I feel like it was easy in the way that you didn't need that many products. Again, you can use any planter. I just used this one because I already had it, and because I haven't had the best luck with it actually being a planter for me, so I thought it would make a good craft pot for something other than plant care. So that's why I use this. I ended up using styrofoam that I already had. If you don't, you could go to Dollar Tree. Yeah, not Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and get floral foam from there. I have used that in crafts before and it's only $1, so that was something I could have done if I didn't have the styrofoam, but I was able to, you know, save $1, get something, and get a second use out of something that I wouldn't have used before, so that's always good. And then the paint, if you're like me, you have paint on hand. If not, you know, the dollar store also has like individual acrylics that you can get for $1. And then the most expensive part of this was obviously the beads. Oh, I did want to mention that I used almost all of the wire that I had, like both packs. So this is what is left of the second pack. So I did use a lot of it. This is, I don't know if it says how long. I'd have to check the Amazon listing. But I did end up using a lot more of it than I thought I would, so that's something to keep in mind. But I do think if I did this again, I probably wouldn't make them as long because it does use a lot of beads. And, you know, beads, like I said a million times, the beads were the most expensive part of this craft. So you definitely don't have to use as much wire if you make them shorter, or if you just do this in a smaller scale. I knew that I wanted to do this on a large scale because I knew it was going to be going on my plant shelf, and I thought it would look nice to have a nice big beaded plant there. So all in all, I mean, if you're counting the, I'm pretty sure I paid $5 for this pot at Michael's back in the day when I got it on clearance. So if you're counting the $5 pot, I think the wire was $5. The beads were $25. So yeah, it's definitely an expensive craft for sure. You have to kind of invest in it, but I'm gonna be having this for a very long time, so that's where I'm telling myself that it's okay that I spent this money on this craft, because it's not like a plant. It's going to kind of, it's not like something that's a one-time use. It's gonna kind of just be a decoration for years to come. So I think it was a very well spent 40 some odd dollars. I think I need one right in the front here. Yeah, it's starting to fill out for sure. I think it's starting to look really good now that it's filling out a little bit. Okay, so this is the last one, you guys. This was so much fun. Very time intensive. I will not deny that. Okay, I think this one needs to go in the front too. All right, so let's do one right here. I tried to like overlap them a little bit, but make it look kind of natural, all coming from one spot. I think that looks more natural than having it go around. I'm going rogue, guys. This one is really long and it's bothering me, so I'm moving the position of it to make it shorter because it's really bothering me. I want it to go over there. Yeah. I think that looks so good, you guys. I think it looks a tad bald if you look at the styrofoam too intensely, but I'm not too worried about it. I think it looks just fine. I don't know how I ended up making the literal star of the show. I started not putting it facing the way I wanted it to be facing, but maybe if I find a piece of mirror, or I could take one from another disco ball that I have and glue it on there. Yeah, okay. I have a bunch of disco balls in my room, so I actually can take one from one I already have. Hold on. So I found just like a rogue disco ball. I have a bunch of these. We had a bunch of disco balls at our wedding, and so I have a bunch of them lying around. So I'm just going to take some of the mirrors off. That came off super easily, and kind of fill around the edges of this hole. It's not going to be perfect, obviously, but I'm going to use these tools so I don't get super glue on my fingers. Wow, that looks so much better. Okay. And even if it's not the most secure thing, once this is kind of in position, I don't see it being touched very often, if at all. So I'm not too worried about it. All right, you guys ready to see the final product? So I just took a couple from there, and that is all I'm going to do. I'm just gonna try to make it fit a little bit better because I feel like this one's jutting out. I will try to take that super glue off because that is bothering me, but I don't care about that right now. Okay, you guys, it's all done. You ready to see it? Let me close up the super glue. It looks very good. I'm very proud of myself for someone who did this purely based off vibes and didn't measure or plan out anything at all. I think she is a stunner. Hello. Oh my gosh. I think this came out so good, you guys. Here's some footage of the final product. As you can see, I'm really glad that I painted that brown because you do see a lot of the soil, the top. So I'm very glad about that, but you're literally going to be seeing it from this angle. Like, this is how I plan on displaying it, so I'm not too worried about it in the slightest. I think that it offers a little bit of color and texture. It actually kind of looks like soil because it has that styrofoam texture to it, so it's kind of cool. And I think the differences in the colors of the beads, the crystal, the different sizes and shapes, I'm very glad that I did these on the bottom because I think they add a lot to it as well. I think this came out so good. I am so happy with it. Yeah, I think that this is one of my favorite Planty crafts I've ever done. I can't believe I made this. Very proud of myself. Wow, I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do it. Like I showed in the video, it was incredibly easy, just also incredibly time consuming. Like, this was a all in all with prep, you know, getting all my supplies ready. This was a couple hours. This was the whole day dedicated to it, basically. But I had a lot of fun doing it. It definitely lifted me out of my funk that I was feeling this morning. I'm very proud of this, and I think that this is something I'm going to treasure for so many years to come. It's also really... This one being this long is bothering me now that I'm looking at it. So the good thing about it being in styrofoam is that you can kind of position. So I'm going to pull this one out and put it farther over here. That makes sense. So it kind of shortened it up. Boom. Yes, that's what it needed. There's a couple that are long, but I think that it adds something. Adds a little bit of texture. I do have the freedom to like fiddle with it because it's in styrofoam. I can just kind of do what I want and move it around. I also want to see it in its final position to see what it looks like then. If there's any that are too long, it's not that the issue the strand is too long, it's just the position that I have it in the styrofoam. So I do think that that's something that'll probably get done by me a couple times. I'm just gonna like fidget with it and see how it looks. This is what I was talking about with the hole. I did end up adding extra mirror in there, if you can see, because there's a hole right in the front, but I think the beads do a good job at covering it. I don't know how that ended up happening. I just wasn't paying attention when I started doing the beads, but I very easily could move them all, but that's just too much work for not enough worthiness. So I'm just gonna keep it as it is for now, but I think I probably could have made it a little bit fuller, but I hit the end with the beads, and like I said, I've been working on this for hours, so if I do feel like adding more, I will definitely let you guys know. I do think this is a very, very good place to end it off though. I'm so happy with it. I can't wait to put it up on my plant shelf. I did take a tiny little break in the middle of beading, and I was looking around my plant room and like our living space to look for a stand to keep it on, because as you can see, some of them are longer than the pot, so I didn't want them to be like on the shelf. So I did find a candle holder that I've had for years. I think I got it at Bath & Body Works when I was like just out of college or something. Like, I've had it for a very long time, and it's always come in useful for like lifting up plant pots and stuff like that. And it's silver, so it matches this disco ball planter perfectly. So I think it's going to be the perfect addition to that, and it'll finally have a use, like a permanent use, because I always just kind of move it around wherever. But I do think that it's going to fit on this perfectly and look very, very good. So I'm going to put it in its final position and then show you guys what that looks like. So let's go do that. All right, you guys, so this is the final spot. for the planter. I know it's kind of hard to see. I do have my plant lights on. Maybe it's better if I turn them off. Okay, that looks better right now, but just know the plant lights will be on and it'll be shining. But this is, she's gonna have this whole dedicated corner. I think she deserves it. So you can see my plant shelf holds a lot of plants, plant and bookshelf, but I think she deserves this. I've been wanting to incorporate more non-planty stuff into my shelf, but this is planty, just not an actual plant. You know what I mean? So I think it looks so good, and it looks full because you're only seeing it from this corner, which is totally fine with me. I think it came out so good. This candle holder is perfect for it. It lifts it up to the perfect amount to where none of the strands are on and you can see everything. It doesn't fit perfectly. Like, it has this little lip and I'm noticing that it kind of rocks back and forth, but I think if you get it in the perfect position, it should be fine. And yeah, I cannot believe how easy and fun that was, and the beautifulness of it was worth my hands hurting, worth the hours of beading and time that it took. I think it is so beautiful, and I just think it's the perfect addition to my plant shelf. Look at that. I'll have to like decorate around it and everything, but I think it looks so good. I'll probably put a plant right here or like something small. Looks so good. A big thank you to everyone who watched this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me do some crafts. Let me know if there are other crafts you'd like me to do or you want to see or learn about. That one was one that was on my list for a very, very long time, but like I said, I do have a list of other ones, so if you want to see them, let me know. I can make like a whole Planty craft girl series. Not all of my crafts have to do with plants, but definitely some of them do. I mean, I am Plant Friends by Andrea, so I have a lot of crafts that I have that are plant related on my wish list, so if you want to see them, just let me know. But I hope you enjoyed watching. I had so much fun making that beaded planter, and I hope you enjoy watching it. So yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, please let me know. I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!